Hi folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. Um, I wanted to talk about today about our inner dialogue. I remember I have made a video before about our inner dialogue, but this time I wanted to add a few pointers. So recently I've been watching a lot of Brene Brown's content. If you don't know her, she does a lot of research on like vulnerability, shame, empathy, human emotions, all of that. Um, all of the things that a lot of us avoid, which is vulnerability, um, and talking about difficult or challenging emotions. And one thing she said in one of her talks is talking about shame versus guilt. She also said it in one of her podcasts. There was an episode where she's talking about shame and accountability. It's really interesting because when I was younger, I didn't know what the difference between shame and guilt is. And the example Brene Brown used is shame is I am bad, guilt is I did something bad. Shame is focused on ourselves and who we are, like in the at the core, and who we are as a person, whereas guilt is focused on our behavior, our behavior, not like it separates behavior from who we are. And that distinction is important because with shame, if we think we are bad or this negative thing people say about us, um, for example, last year I had to deal with a lot of I was working through a lot of internalized transphobia, and one of the thoughts I had was I am disgusting, I am a freak, I am not normal, and that is shame because it's focused on the self. and and also when I was younger, when I made mistakes, I always thought like you're an idiot, Lev, and what the hell are you doing, and you're such a failure, and all of these things. It was about self. um and I flipped that train of thinking to now, whenever I make a mistake, I'm like, you made a mistake, Lev, but that's okay, it's part of the learning journey. You made a mistake, it doesn't mean you're doomed for life and that you're a bad person. The implications of the way we think is also important, because if we think we are bad and that we're doomed for life and that we can't shame, the language of shame, for example, I am bad, I am a failure, I am worthless, it basically implies that we are that thing, therefore we cannot change or grow to be a better person, because it's us. Like, okay, if I am an idiot, like it's already me, it's part of who I am, it is me, then like there's really no hope or no point in trying to change, because this is who I am, like I can't change it. Whereas guilt is like I did something silly, it just focuses on behavior, and it's not like it there is room for growth here. Okay, we say I did something bad, it's because that means I just did something, that one bad thing, but that doesn't make me who I am, and there is room to grow and be better. And we don't beat ourselves down for it. um and reinforcing the idea that this negative thing is who we are as a person. Also, we can't really shame, like using shame to make people feel bad about themselves in hopes of changing their behavior doesn't seem to be very effective. For example, someone who has dealt drugs to people, or people who deal drugs to other people illegally, saying you're such a bad person, stop dealing drugs, um and like treating that person as less than human and treating them as like some sort of monster, um that's not gonna change their behavior very well, because it, again, like the shame thing implies that this is them, who they are as a person, and that it can't change. And I think in general, the approach taken to, I guess, deal with deal with or like support people who are in the criminal justice system, or people who may behave in ways that are dangerous or hurtful or harmful to others. I think we're all, I don't think punishing them and that sort of approach is very effective. And I think a better way to do things is to help the person reconnect with humans, discover meaning and purpose in their lives, and all of that more helpful stuff, and every something that all humans need. We all need to be connected. We all need to be connected. We all need to have social bonds with other people. We all need to have healthy relationships. We all need we all need support in our lives. And for the people who are already going through a lot and dealing with difficulties, pushing them away and ostracizing them even further from society is not going to help anyone. And because if you think about it, to approach it in a like, I guess, softer and more compassionate way, we can say something along the lines of, what you did is not okay, or the way you behaved or act or are behaving is hurting others, and it's not okay. So anything that focuses on behavior, what the person's did, the person's behavior rather than who they are, like you're lazy, you're a failure, you're doomed for life, um, you're hopeless. That type of language attacks the person directly, and it just implies that they are that thing and there is nothing more to them, and the sense of humanity is sort of gone. It just implies that they're not even human and they are just this negative thing. And that in turn, like just saying these things, implying that it is that person and they're nothing more than that thing, that mistake, or that unhelpful aspect of their lives, e.g., for example, someone who gambles or is addicted to alcohol or anything like that. It just implies that they are that one thing and there is nothing more. And that perpetuates a cycle. It's like they may already have like low self esteem and low self confidence and not really believe in themselves or like aspects of who they are as a person, and then being told by others that they are all of these negative unhelpful things reinforces the cycle, and they think, okay, yep, I am XYZ, reinforced by people saying, yep, I am XYZ, and then it just goes forever. It just keeps strengthening those thoughts in the head, strengthens the brain pathways in the brain. It just strengthens everything. What we're gonna do is disconnect it, disconnect the idea that the person is that thing, one thing. We don't want that. We don't want the loop to keep going. We want to break the chain and say, you know, you are like, you're more than this, but what you did is not okay. The cycle of shame can get very toxic very quickly and be very sinister in how it manifests in our lives. For example, I think I am a failure because I didn't score the last goal in basketball, and that cost the team, and the opposing team won because I missed the basketball shot, and I'm a failure because of that. I failed my team, I failed everyone. And then that thought in it of itself might, last a little while, but not too long. And then later down the line, it creeps up on me subconsciously, and it links to, and then that I'm a failure links to, that's why I'm worthless. Like, I keep failing at everything, and I don't really have anything to give. I'm completely worthless, and I'm hopeless. There's like nothing, nothing I can do anymore. And then that in turn can feed into, having a very dark cloud over our heads, just taunting us 24/7. And I'm a failure can lead to I am worthless and have nothing to give to the world, which can then lead to why am I here, and all of the more, I guess, extreme stuff with like, why am I here, and then it can make the person question their entire life, and then it just goes down the chain like that. Like, it just chain effects, and it can happen whether we realize it or not. Key takeaway message from this video is be aware of the language. Be aware of how you talk to yourself. What sort of language do you use when you're talking to yourself about yourself? Um, and if things are unhelpful, and it's not working for you anymore, change it. Try things out. Uh, Pave new pathways. Um, because yeah, this shame cycle is just very toxic and vicious, and we don't want to be stuck in it, where we can change things and minimize the impacts. If we do end up in the shame cycle, the impacts will be much less than if we didn't have strategies to manage it. Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you in the next video.